All right, moving right along with this Savage Axis budget build here. Now keep in mind, budget is the theme of this series and working on this thing, all right? Gonna talk some about ammunition selection. Now this is a 1-in-8 twist barrel. This thing's really made to shoot hunting ammunition at that twist rate. 6.5 Creedmoor ammunition is all over the place now. All kinds of different bullet selections out there, different velocities. It's just common stuff. Now, if you've got one of these and you're not into reloading, it's not really a big deal because of that huge selection. Pick up a couple different boxes, try it out, see which one it likes. In my case, I'm going to do some reloading and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do to try to eke out the best performance that I can get out of this thing, again, on a budget for money wise, but also a time constraint budget. I'm not going to work up a full ammunition ladder, and what I mean by that is I'm not going to work through a series of different velocities, a series of different bullet styles, bullet weights, different brasses. I'm not going to do all of that. This is a hunt gun. This is a gun that I'm trying to hot rod this thing out. This is a gun that I really want to just see, can this thing get more accurate? I had a few people say, did you even shoot it first? Not this one, but I have shot these things and they're pretty consistent out of the box. Again, right around that 1.2 MOA. I want to see if we can get this thing down to 3/4 or so MOA. What I'm going to do, ammunition wise, is I'm going to start off with using these bullets. Now I've got 143 grain ELD-X. I've had real good luck with these target shooting as well as for deer hunting. This is a good bullet for cutting through the wind. It's a good weight with this 1-in-8 twist barrel. And the one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to stick to my powder charge. I'll share the recipe that I use for these reloads. Gets me right around 2,700 feet per second. I'll share that in the description for you guys with full build. I don't know how much YouTube lets me put that recipe out there, so I'll write that in the description for you guys. But I'm going to walk through what I do to really tailor this ammunition for this particular rifle, this particular 6.5 Creedmoor, and how you can make ammunition usable across the board for them. One thing you want to have, if you're going to get into this, is some sort of a reloading book. These little guys work pretty good. You can get the Hornady book. There's a bunch. Every ammunition, pretty much bullet manufacturer makes one of these. But what I'm going to get into is the overall length of my cartridge going in the chamber. Now, if you're not into this, in this classroom here, I'm going to try to really simplify this down. I made some of these for dummies type series. Not calling anybody a dummy, but you know, the name of those books. But anywho, hey, getting into this, what is the cartridge overall length? Real simple. I've got these right here are your regular brass. Now I've got these one-shot brass. I've got these things all sized, de-primed, polished up, ready to go. This is what your regular brass looks like. Once you punch your primer out, you've got a brass in here. This little fancy brass right here, where the primer goes, this thing's threaded. It goes onto this tool. This threaded brass right here, they just call this a modified case. Comes in this little guy. They don't cost a whole lot. So this modified brass is going to go on to this overall length gauge. Now there's different ways of doing it. This tool and this tool, they don't cost very much. So all you do is you take this little modified brass and screws onto the tool that it's made to go onto here. This is pretty simple to do. You're also going to need a set of calipers, and they come with different compensators. And what this thing is, that hole in there, it's for whatever caliber you're dealing with, and I'll show you how it works. So all right, we got this tool here. We've got the particular projectile that we're going to use. If we're using different projectiles in this gun, I may try some SSTs in this. I'm going to redo this process because they're shaped a little bit different. All right, so I'm going to take this thing. I'm just going to push this bullet in here, and I'm going to leave it hanging out really long, just stupid long. See how thing's in there? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this into the chamber of the rifle. And when I do that, it's going to push this bullet down into wherever. The brass is going to bottom out in the chamber. The bullet's going to bottom out where it goes right into the barrel itself. And now this little rod right here, you just push it up. It locks that bullet from going in any deeper. I'm going to pull this whole thing out of the chamber. I'm going to put it on my caliper, which I'd have on and zeroed out. I'm going to put it on here. Try to show you guys this. And just like that, it's going to give us a reading. All right. Now, what that reading is going to be is the maximum overall length. If we were to take a round, have it in the mag, we'll talk about that in a bit here, put it in the chamber, and this bullet itself would be running right into the barrel. There would be no gap. So when you fire this thing off, that bullet's already touching the rifling and it's going to go. All right. Generally speaking, that's going to cause some high pressures and some other things that don't lead to the most accurate situation, most cases. All right. I've got some consistent numbers that I like to back this bullet off. And again, I'm going to share that in the description of here of the ammo that I do, but we're going to come up with the number. Now, I did a few off camera, and I'll show you guys how you do this. So again, I'm going to put this thing in here. I'm going to put it in just barely in there. I'm going to back this out. Now, I don't know if the camera can see this. Move it around a little bit, but I'm just going to slide this into the chamber, slide the bullet all the way in. That's in there. Bottom out the gray rod. Get up here. Tighten that little knob right there. Pull this out. Now sometimes that bullet will actually get stuck in the barrel. You gotta tap it out. And then, well, I'm gonna take this thing, zero it out, open her up. I'm just gonna do this sloppy on camera right now, right? But 2.246. 2.246. Now, they recommend you do this a handful of times because as you shove this down into the chamber, when you just seat that thing in there, just the notion of you pushing it in, that's going to, I mean, you could be off by a thousandths or something. I'm not sure that's really going to matter in the case of like the loading we're doing here. But I like to do this about 10 times and come up with an average. So I get that average. Now that's going to be, again, my average for my maximum overall length of this bullet. And then we're going to back them all off, meaning when we reload these. So when these actually get put into the press to load that brass up, we're going to push these bullets down, whatever that number is we pick, we're going to push them down just a smidge more so there's a bit of a jump into the rifling. Now you can't leave them banged out all the way like that unless you're shooting them one at a time, because what you run into are too long to fit into your mags. All right, so this is where these books come in handy. You open these things up, and inside these books, when I get to it here, there's typically some drawings in here that show the dimensions and everything, what we're looking for here for our maximum overall case length, the whole 9 yards. It's right there. All right, so this is our next step for tailoring some ammunition to this thing. I'm going to stick around 2,700 feet per second. I'm going to use these 143 grain ELD-X's, and I'm going to run, well, I run these primers. These are CCI large primers. I run these primers. But I'll put that in here. That's the ammunition that I'm going to fire out of this thing to sweeten it up a little bit. I may pick just a box of some cheaper Hornady Whitetail Express or whatever they call that stuff. I might pick a box of that up to see how it does, but I don't want to hurt my pride if it shoots better than my my handmade ones here. So, all right, that's going to be the ammunition. I need to get this stuff done. Got to get the scope leveled. It is mounted, but I got to get this thing leveled and zeroed. Next episode is going to be actually sending the rounds downrange and seeing how this thing shoots. So check back in soon and let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? I went real fast with this, but did I miss any major things with just this simple reloading? Now, I know you guys that are huge into reloading and you're perfectionists. There's different tools and different ways of going about this. Again, this is a quick budget build we're working on here. And the brass is all prepped and stuff. I didn't even go through all that. So, hey, thanks for checking back in. Look forward to you guys checking this episode and the next one out. Sending some downrange. So thanks for checking on in. Get on out. Keep on shooting.